DLC is confirmed for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but will we see an expansion of the Kalos region? Hey everyone, it's Dusty Go-Go. Welcome back to my headcanon. So just so you know, leakers have confirmed that DLC will be in Scarlet and Violet. These are likely to roll out this year. The entire internet seems to believe that Kalos is confirmed in some way, and though I'm inclined to support this, we really don't have any evidence. So if you take a look at the Paldean map, there are two areas that are very clearly and purposefully blurred. If we take a look at this northeastern landmass, geographically speaking, that is Southern Kalos. Even if it goes by a different name than Kalos, I still think it's ripe for so much additional backstory to these Pokemon titles X and Y, but also to Scarlet and Violet. Paldea and Kalos share a geographical border. I think it's undeniable that they also have a shared history. Today I want to answer and explore three questions. The first is this realistic? What could we actually see in 2023? Number two, is there a connection between Zygarde and the mysterious third legendary? And number three, whether Kalos DLC is real or not, what characters from X and Y could return in Scarlet and Violet and be interacted with? Here's a conversation I had with Soul Silver Art on our new podcast, Hidden Power.
We're talking about Kalos. The main question is, do we really think that Kalos is going to happen in the DLC? I pose it to you first.
So will Kalos return? I think there's a lot of variables here. I think for a long time, like, let's just bring it back, right? I think for a long time, people have wanted two regions ever since they first did it with Generation 2. It all started with the fact that Kalos was never given a third version. Kalos never got a lot of closure that it deserved. Rumors of returning to Kalos popped up in Gen 8. If it's gonna happen, if we're ever gonna go back to Kalos and they're gonna give us some new answers, right? Give the game some closure, the story some closure, add to the lore, add to the Pokemon and the legendaries. If that's gonna happen, it's either gonna happen now or it's gonna happen in 10 years with a Kalos remake or something, right?
I think you're totally right there. If there was ever an opportunity, it was Galar or Paldea. That's it. Because they're literally the neighbors of France.
So it's interesting. I think it'd be a lot of fun to go back to Kalos. I think there's so many hints, especially with Southern Kalos.
But do you believe it? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm dodging the question. I think I believe it. I think I really want to believe it. A lot of people write Game Freak off for not doing every single thing that we want them to do, but there are plenty of things that they do, right? And I think there are things in lore, theories that have been confirmed. I do not think we're going to go through the entirety of Kalos. All I really want is a small area that we can like access, and it says this is the Kalos region, right? Yeah. This is a part of the Kalos region that, you know, it's different. So there's different Pokemon. You can see some Paldea Pokemon there. There's some new regional forms that we never saw, but it's technically part of Kalos. I think they could also do that with, I think I would even be happy if, maybe not as happy, but even if they like gave us a couple islands that were like Kalos territory, I think that even that could be cool, but it would definitely be sweet. All they have to do in the DLC is unlock that section of the map that you can't access, and then all you have to do is allow like your ride Pokemon to climb up the wall, and then you're in that new area. What do you think?
I'm with you on it. It's just like, it really depends on certain situations, but logically, it makes so much sense. There's a million hints that fans have picked out and sometimes created. Game Freak has never done it, you know? It's really just the whole thing. Well, I can't say never because of Johto and Gen 2. Just revisiting any kind of region is kind of just out of contention, let's say. You know, a lot of people say like they wouldn't be making money on that actual region, which they would because they'd be doing it with the DLC. But you have to look at it in different ways. Like what you said is that it would just be a part of Kalos that we'd never been to. That's just like a little piece. And that makes total sense. Like, it should be a thing.
And then that's not impeding. That's not like lessening the value of like a full remake, right? Like,
we have to throw that out completely. Like, people that are, I don't think there's anybody that believes this, but like someone that's like, it's going to be full Kalos, the whole region. It's impossible, first of all. It's just like they're going to remake an entire region. I don't think it's happening like that. But just to bring it back to your original, or I guess my original question to you was just like, you know, is Kalos realistically coming? You know, like, is it actually going to happen? And I kind of disagree with you. I don't think that it's going to happen. I wanted to make sure to get back to it. I want it to. It makes logical sense. The stars are freaking aligned. There's a million hints and stuff that we have, but it's just like I was saying before, like Game Freak doesn't normally do it. So I don't know, I can't see it happening. It's just like the fans want it so bad.
I think a lot of people are talking about Zygarde, and maybe it is a different form of the third legendary. I think it is possible that they could, like, there could be like a 1000 complete form or something, right? Where,
interesting. Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't even make sense because 100% is like, it's limited. It's like 0 to 100. If Zygarde is all about like smaller cells joining together to create something else, what if, right, like everything we've heard about the third legendary in Zygarde is that they enter, like, or they exit their dormancy when there's some sort of threat to the environment. I like the idea of, you know, we see 100% complete Zygarde, right? We see those as like a final beast. But what if each of them acts as a, you know, as a cell, or maybe 10%, and then all of a sudden, like, if something like Area Zero happens, it threatens, you know, like just destroying the environment, letting out the Paradox Pokemon. All of these neighboring Zygarde just come together to form something even bigger, which is maybe the third legendary. I don't know. People keep talking about the hexagons, and how they connect Zygarde to the third legendary. What do you think about that?
It could go either way. I think that you brought up a really big point, is that Zygarde comes when like there's imbalance, you know, like something is creating something that shouldn't be there. Zygarde's out there trying to stop it. I feel like the third legendary could be related to actually causing the problem, you know, instead of being Zygarde to come to fix the problem. But I mean, I haven't finished the game, but I know a lot of stuff about the end of the game. So, you know, them bringing Paradox Pokemon in is like literally destroying. Like, if Paradox Pokemon got to the surface or whatever, they'd destroy like the ecosystem and all that. So that would be a perfect time for a Zygarde to come and save everything, which could fall right in perfectly with the third legendary if that's really what it is. Yeah. But I don't know. I have my reservations on it. The hexagons is the only real connection. Yeah. Other than the, you know, like all these Kalos connections. You know, it's just like, oh, Kalos might be connected, so let's connect this too.
I think any access we have to Kalos, Southern Kalos, I think it'd be a lot of fun to find characters returning. Something that they used to do in older games. Maybe it wasn't only in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but there was like a gym where all of the gym leaders would show up to at different times of the week, right? So you play through Heart Gold, Soul Silver. There's 16, gym battles, gym trainers, gym leaders is what they're called, that you defeat. And then every day of the week, there's a random chance for one of them to show up, and then you can rebattle them with their final teams. I think it'd be weird, but also very cool. Yeah, right? Like if just like, right, like just a random character shows up from whether it's Paldea, or maybe, no, I guess if it's in Kalos, the Kalos trainers show up, right? That'd be so cool. And they did something like that in Gen 7, and we see Gen 9 copy a lot of things from Gen 7, right? We see, that was surreal that like Rainbow Rocket introduced all of those like old evil team members. And then also like the battle tree allowed for you to battle red and blue. Like that was so cool.
It was epic.
So sick, dude. So like I could see something like that. And that'd be a fun way to, like, I don't need the whole region. If I'm technically in Kalos and I'm battling Kalos people, that's like, that would be enough.
You're in Kalos, basically.
that would be enough, right?
Yeah. I think something like that is realistic and would be good. I still don't think that they would do it, but they should do it. Like, it makes sense. It's like a way to get away with Kalos, but not even go to Kalos.
And we don't even have a battle, like, facility at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
I do think that will be coming in the DLC. Like, I can't see them not putting some kind of battle facility in there. I don't know what the rules will be or what the format will be, but something has to happen.
I don't know. That actually gets me excited. I would be very happy with something like that where we could battle those older characters. I mean, the Pixel games always did it best because, like, in Gen 5, you could battle everything from all 5 regions. Yeah. Even people who weren't even battleable. You fought rivals, you fought main characters, you fought gym leaders, everything. So, you know, anything like that would be sick.
After doing this and talking with you about this, I don't want to switch to, like, Kalos could be possible, but there's just, I can't, like, 100% count it out, you know? It's still a very, decent possibility. I don't want to say like probable or anything, but it's just there's so much like that we've laid out here today and talked about that make me think, wow, like it's a very big opportunity and seems like it's possible.
Yeah, I think overall, like when I close my eyes and imagine what the direct is gonna look like in February, like I can almost see some of the things that they would tease, and I don't know. I feel like it goes back to what we said in the beginning. If they're gonna do it, now's the time. If they don't do it now, and the next, whatever, next region's in China or the next region's like another European country or it's in Japan or whatever, like, then so be it. But like, if they're gonna do it, it would feel right now. We're a long way away, at least, from the predicted timeline of when a Kalos remake could come, unless we get some sort of like wild. So this is the. I said this on another episode. This is the only other thing that I think probably won't happen, but could happen if we don't have if we don't get DLC and it's Southern Kalos, and if we don't get a Kalos remake, right? If we don't have to wait for 10 years. If they throw us some sort of wild card and they build a Kalos remake in the Gen 9 engine, and then that's where, and then they show us a new perspective of Kalos, right? I think it would be a different perspective of Kalos if it's the Gen 9 engine and there's no megas, and it's the timeline where there is no mega evolution, right? I think they could do something twisted like that, and show the right. I think that could be really interesting, and it doesn't need to be Legends, and I'm not even expecting it. I'm just saying like that I think could possibly be a possibility. The fact that there are so many hints that are deliberate and connect the two regions together, I think it feels like, if we're gonna keep expecting things based on patterns, they wanna surprise us, and that's on the far spectrum of being surprised, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe the fact that I even thought of it means it'll never, like, okay, well, they're gonna, they gotta do something even different now. But I think we're gonna get some sort of recognition of Kalos, and that excites me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line to take away from all this, though, is like if none of this is pointing to a Kalos DLC, a South Kalos DLC. They were just recognizing that Kalos is close by.
If you're still listening, consider subscribing to our new podcast. It's me, Soul Silver Art, and the Lumios Post. We upload at least once a week. If you like this channel, I swear you're gonna like the podcast. It's essentially just what I do on this show, but for an hour long. Right below this video, there's gonna be a link that'll bring you over to the podcast. You can check out a couple episodes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you. Peace.